Hit it, Phil.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Can it be the breeze that fills the trees with rare and magic perfume? Oh, no, it isn't the breeze, it's Jackson time. La-da-da-da.
Stay tuned.
Right after this episode.
For our discussion.
Thanks, it's okay.
Next. You're next, sir.
Where's the other barber, the tall fellow?
He just went out to lunch, sir. Anything I can do?
Well, I don't know. You see, he gave me a haircut, and he left it a little bit too long in the back.
Sit down, sir.
Thank you. You made a charge for this, will you?
No, of course not.
Back.
By the way, when did the other barber cut your hair?
About 4 weeks ago.
Okay, Mr. Dunne.
Oh, you know who I am?
Now, yes.
See, these Hollywood columnists are really wonderful. You can't make a move without them knowing about it. Listen to this. Tyrone Power is winding up another picture in Italy. Errol Flynn is leaving with camera crew for Australia. Jack Benny is in Beverly Hills getting a haircut. Gregory Ratoff, director, has completed casting his new production. This picture will star Irene Dunne and Vincent Price. Gosh, I'd like to make a picture with Irene Dunne sometime. That's funny. When I was having lunch with Gregory Ratoff the other day in the Brown Derby, he didn't even mention it. And we're such good friends, too. I can't understand why he didn't ask me to play the part instead of Vincent Price.
Hello? Yes? This is Gregory Ratoff. Oh, hello, Vincent. Hello, how are you? Yeah, we rehearse tonight. Yeah, at Irene Dunne's house. That's right, Vincent. See you there. Bye. Yes?
Mr. Jack Benny's here to see you.
Jack Benny? I don't remember having an appointment for him today. What does he want?
Perhaps you're to have lunch with him.
Oh, no. That I'll never do again. You know, last week we had lunch together at Brown Derby, and the most embarrassing thing has happened. There was some food left after lunch, and Jack Benny called the waiter and asked him for a paper bag to take the food back home to his dog.
Well, Mr. Ratoff, lots of people take food home to their dogs.
Noodle soup?
Mr. Benny, Mr. Ratoff will see you now.
Hello, Jackie.
Hello, Gregory. How are you?
Well, sit down, my boy. Sit down.
Thank you.
Well, to what do I owe this extreme pleasure?
Well, Gregory, I know you're a very busy man, so I won't take up much of your time. But I have some wonderful news for you.
Yeah? What is it?
Well, this morning I got a haircut.
Well, congratulations.
That's not what I mean. See, while I was sitting in the barber chair, I read in the paper that you're going to make a picture with Irene Dunne and Vincent Price.
That's right, Jackie. And it's going to be wonderful. I consider myself very fortunate with this casting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is this you wanted to talk to me about?
Well, Gregory, I was just wondering if you'd like to use me instead of Vincent Price.
Hey.
Getting back to the picture, of course, I don't want you to think this is anything personal, see? But I feel that I would do a much better job for you than Vincent Price.
Look here, Jack. You don't mind if I ask you something?
No.
Didn't you do personal appearances last spring?
Yes, I did.
And didn't you go on an extensive tour of one-night stands last summer?
That's right.
Now, if I remember correctly, you've been on the radio for about 20 years?
20 years on the radio, yes.
And now you have your own television show?
My own television show, that's right.
Well, let somebody else make a buck, will you?
Gregory, that's not the point. It's a matter of proper casting. Now, does Miss Dunne know that you have Vincent Price?
She picked him.
Oh. Well, Gregory, you being the director, don't you think it would be better?
No.
Well, look, Gregory, you see, it's all right to be artistic, you know, but you have to be practical about these things. Now, if you give me the job, I can save you money.
You can?
You see, not only am I a great actor, you see, but when you score the picture, I can sit in the orchestra because I also play the violin. See? So by my taking 2 jobs at the same salary, I'll be beating Vincent's price. The chair turned over. How did that happen?
I don't know, only my stomach did the same thing. Now, look here, Jack.
Yeah.
There's nothing personal against you. But Mr. Price is engaged for the role, and that settles it.
Well, it doesn't settle it with me, Mr. Ratoff. I'm going to call Miss Dunne and take the matter up with her directly.
I wish you would.
Thank you. Goodbye, Mr. Ratoff. There's Irene Dunne, Crestview 5, 4124. Crestview 5, 4124. Crestview 5, 4124.
What number were you dialing?
Crestview 5, 4124.
I'm sorry. Crestview 5, 4124 has been changed to Bradshaw 2, 2199.
Oh. Bradshaw 22199.
What number were you dialing?
Bradshaw 22199.
I'm sorry, but Bradshaw 2, 2199 has been changed to Sycamore 2, 8002.
Sycamore 28002.
What number were you dialing?
Sycamore 28002.
Sycamore 28002 has just been changed back to Crestview 5, 4124.
Look, well, operator, that's the number I called in the first place.
Just a moment, I'll present you. Hello?
I'd like to speak to Miss Irene Dunne, please.
This is Miss Dunne speaking.
Irene, this is Jack Benny.
Oh, hello, Jack. It's nice to hear your voice. The last time you called me was in 1943.
1943?
Yes, don't you remember? You wanted me to play opposite you in The Horn Blows at Midnight.
Oh, yes.
Jack, did they ever make that picture?
Well, of course they made the picture. And it did great business, too. It played 8 weeks at Lowe's Belgian Congo, Warner's Pakistan, and 16 weeks at Grauman's Chinese. The original one, you know, at Kwang Cho Fu. Now, Irene, the reason I called you is, you see, Gregory Ratoff just talked to me about the picture that you're going to make.
Talk to you?
And although he was rather subtle about it, he suggested that I play the part of your husband.
But I thought Vincent Price was set for that part.
Well, he was scheduled to, but if you want me, all you have to do is speak up. Irene, I said, all you have to do is speak up. Irene? Irene? Hello? Hello?
Joe's Fish Market. Sadie the Scaler speaking.
It is now. I've been out with Sadie, and I know her voice. Blackstone 3962.
That number has been changed to Webster outside.
Operator, get off the line.
I will if you'll deposit 10 cents for an additional 3 minutes.
Already? Gee, it doesn't seem like we've been talking 3 minutes, does it, Irene?
You ought to be on this end.
You ought to be in the middle. Please deposit 10 cents and I will.
Oh, all right. There. Now, Irene, to get to the point, when do you start rehearsing?
Well, tonight at my house, but I don't think you ought to.
At your house, huh? Oh, what time?
8 o'clock. But really, Jack, I don't think you ought to.
8 o'clock, huh? Well, I'll be there, Irene. I'll tell you what. I'll read the part, and Vincent Price will read the part, and may the best man win.
I certainly hope so.
Thanks. Oh, Irene, should I come for dinner? Irene. Operator. Got a minute left, and nobody will talk to me. Early so I can go over the script.
While Jack is on his way to Miss Dunne's home, I'd like a word with you about Lucky Strike. As you know, friends, your enjoyment of a cigarette depends on its taste. And Lucky's taste better. Here's why. Lucky's are made better to taste better. They're made round and firm and fully packed to draw freely and smoke evenly. And LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. So for all the deep down smoking enjoyment you want from your cigarette, be happy. Go Lucky. Next time, ask for a carton of better tasting Lucky Strike. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we take you to the home of Miss Irene Dunne.
Good evening, Mr. Price.
Hello, Gordon.
Make yourself comfortable, sir. Miss Dunne will be down in a few moments.
Thank you.
May I mix you a drink?
No, thank you.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, sir?
I'm Jack Benny. Miss Dunne is expecting me.
Oh, won't you come in?
Thank you.
May I take your coat, sir?
Oh, yes.
And your hat?
Oh. Well, Mr. Vincent Price. I'm Jack Benny, star of stage, screen, radio, and television.
How do you do?
So, the two rivals meet, eh?
Rivals? What do you mean?
Well, I guess I should have let Irene tell you, but it looks as though I'm going to take your place in this picture.
You're taking my place? Oh, that's ridiculous, old boy.
Oh, no, it isn't. You see, at rehearsal tonight, you and I are both going to read the parts, and the best man will win.
The best man?
Yes.
Mr. Benny, when two people are involved in a statement, the comparative is used. You don't say the best man will win, you say the better man will win.
Oh.
But when three or more people are involved, then the word best is the correct adjective.
I see.
So before we compete for this part, Mr. Benny, it might be well if you first learn to speak English.
Well, for your information, Mr. Price, I went to Waukegan High School and excelled in English. I got 99 every single term.
Well, ain't that ginger peachy?
Now cut that out! Of all the sore losers, you certainly take the cake.
Hello, Gordon. How do you do, Mr. Rattle?
Hello, Vince.
Oh, hello, Gregory.
Well, hello, Gregory.
What are you doing here?
Well, I just thought I'd come
Gregory,
around.
I don't know what this is all about, and I demand an explanation. Am I or am I not appearing opposite Miss Dunne?
Well, of course you are.
Well, then what is this schlemiel talking about?
Schlemiel?
Yes, S-H-L-E.
I know how to spell it. I didn't get 99 in English for nothing.
Good evening, everybody.
Oh, hello, Irene.
Gregory, Vincent.
Hello.
Well, everybody's here, I guess.
Yes, everybody. Some coffee, Gregory?
No, thank you, Irene.
Vincent?
Yes, please.
I'll have a cup.
Mr. Price? Mr. Benny?
Thank you. Yes, sir. Gee, Irene, this is the better coffee I ever tasted.
The word is best.
There are only two of us drinking. The comparative. Well, let's get on with the contest, shall we? I mean, the rehearsal.
Go on. Take this tray, please.
Gregory, before we begin this rehearsal, let's settle one thing for Mr. Benny's benefit. Is he or is he not replacing me in this picture?
Certainly not. This is ridiculous.
Of course, it's ridiculous.
I think it's absurd.
You
Take out the dishes like Miss Dunne told you.
All right, all right. Now let's get on with the rehearsal. Look here, Jack. If you insist on staying, just keep quiet and sit down over here.
All right.
Now look here, Irene, honey child. We will start with the scene that takes place in the drawing room.
Oh, Irene, is it all right if I have some of these walnuts here?
Oh, help yourself, Jack.
Yes, it's a big one.
As I said, we will start with a scene that takes place in the drawing room.
That was a tough one.
Look, Irene, in this scene, your husband is late for dinner for 2 hours. God!
Well, Irene said I could. Anyway, I don't want to sit here like a bump on a log. If I can't play the leading role, isn't there something I can do?
All right. You can play the butler.
The butler?
Yeah, here is the script. We start on page 12.
All right.
Look, Irene, you are the wife, and Vincent is the husband that doesn't understand. And Jack,
I'm the butler whom Irene really loves.
you're the butler, that's all. And please stop rewriting the script. Irene is not in love with you. Irene is in love with Vincent. And you're just the butler, that's all.
Don't shout at me. You know, I'm old enough to be your brother.
Vincent, dear, would you please make your entrance from there? Irene, honey, look. He's late for dinner for 2 hours. You're very nervous. So will you please start from here?
Where should I go?
Oh, go any place. Where you call the butler.
All right. Oh, Smedley. Smedley.
Smedley. What is it, madame?
Are you sure my husband hasn't phoned?
I'm quite sure, madame. Shall I serve dinner?
No, I'm much too upset to eat. I've been under such tension these last few weeks. Oh, why does my husband treat me like this? Why does he act so...
Vincent, that's where you're making your entrance.
Okay. Oh, good evening, darling. Sorry I'm so late.
Oh, Michael, you're always late and you're always sorry. It's been like this for months. What's come between us?
Nothing, my dear. It's just that I've been so busy lately at the office. Now, let's forget about it. Come here and give me a little kiss.
Dinner is served. I came in too soon here. I'm sorry, Fred.
Jack, you don't come in for a few minutes more. Will you please sit down? Continue, darling. I'm sorry.
Michael, I just can't kiss you and forget it. This can't go on forever.
Every night it's the same argument, this constant nagging. I tell you, I've been working at the office.
But I telephoned your office. They said you left at 2 this afternoon.
Well, I had business at the bank.
Michael, you were not at the bank and you know it.
All right, so I wasn't. Must I explain my every move to you?
There's a worm in this one. Look at the way it wiggles.
Jack, will you please stop interrupting? And please get away from those doors. I'm sorry, darling. Please continue.
Oh, it's no use, Michael. I know you're lying. Look at you. Everything you say, everything you do gives you away.
Well, you can keep on talking. I'm going to have dinner.
But, Michael, I must know. Do you love me or not?
Of course I love you.
You're lying.
Very well, then I am lying. You might as well know the truth, my dear. I've never loved you, never.
Michael!
And if you weren't so
What are
stupid,
you
you would
saying?
have known it long ago.
What are you
I
saying?
married you for your money, that's all.
No, Michael.
Everybody else has
Stop.
known it, and if you weren't such a blind little fool,
Stop,
you would have
Michael.
realized it
Stop.
yourself. And the sooner you divorce me, the happier I will be.
Michael, no, I'll never divorce you.
Here,
I couldn't
here,
live
stop
without
these
you.
dramatics. I'm leaving.
Michael.
I'm going to my club. Smedley, pack my clothes.
I wouldn't touch your dirty clothes. You schlemiel?
Jack, he isn't in the streets.
Well, I can't help it. He made Irene cry.
Well, he's supposed to make me cry. It's in the story.
Well, if that's the kind of a picture it is, I don't even want to be in it.
Who asked you to be in it?
Irene did.
I did not.
Well, somebody did. I'm here.
Look here, Irene. I've never directed before under such aggravating circumstances, and I'll never direct under such aggravating circumstances again. I'm quitting.
Now, do you see what you've done, you blunderhead?
Well, now, wait a minute. There's no need for everybody to get excited. Look, I'll tell you what, Vincent. Or may I call you Vince?
You may call me Mr. Price.
Oh. Well, look, Mr. Price, look, there's nothing to worry about now because, you see, I can direct the picture.
Oh, so now you're going to do it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Irene, but I've had enough of this, too. I'm leaving.
Well, he's gone.
Yes, Jack, and I hope you're satisfied.
Oh, I am. Of course, I didn't want to get Vincent's part by default. I thought, Irene, it was very, very clever the way you maneuvered it.
The way I... Why, you...
Schlemiel?
Yes, that's it. I quit, too.
Well, I've never been so insulted in all my life. Gordon, my hat and coat.
I wouldn't touch your dirty clothes.
You might as well go home.
Jack will be back in just a moment, but first...
Friends, here's a wonderful Christmas gift for anyone who smokes, because it says, Merry Christmas and Happy Smoking 200 times. Yes, 10 packs of those better-tasting Luckies, all done up for Christmas in a beautiful carton created just for Lucky Strike by the famous designer, Mr. Raymond Loewy. It'll look so bright and colorful under your Christmas tree, and it's such a welcome gift to anyone who enjoys a good smoke. Because, you know, smoking enjoyment is all a matter of taste. And the fact of the matter is, Luckies taste better. Cleaner, fresher, smoother. That's why you can't go wrong if you remember your friends with these colorful Christmas cartons of Lucky Strike.
Be happy, go lucky for Christmas gifts this year.
ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who tuned in late, I'd just like to announce that this was not the Robert Montgomery Theater. But I did enjoy doing this television show very, very much because this is the first time that I've ever worked with Irene Dunne. It's also the first time that I've been able to understand Gregory Ratoff. He sounds like a Russian Marlon Brando. Of course, like the Robert Montgomery Theater, I wanted to bring these movie stars out here just to take a bow and ask them what their future plans were. But they told me it was none of my business. And Vincent Price, too. I think he's a fine actor and everything, but, I'm not jealous of his talent, but I don't know why he's so stuck up. I saw him at a party the other night at Ronald Coleman's house, and I waved at him, and I whistled at him, and hollered at him and everything. He wouldn't even turn around. So I just closed my window and went to bed. Well, anyway, so much for the show. And, before I forget, I was asked to make an announcement. I want to welcome a new television station that opened this morning in Las Vegas, a CBS station in Las Vegas. So welcome, KF... Huh? What? Oh. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. They've just lost it. Again, very, very much. See you in about 3 weeks.
Well, hello again. This is Buck Benny speaking. I am joined by Kathy Fuller-Seeley, John Henderson. Hey, John.
Hello.
And Zach Eastman.
Hi.
Hey, Zach. We are here to chat about Jack Benny, and our most current episode that we're going to talk about is the episode featuring Irene Dunne and Vincent Price, and it's a really good one. It's based on the radio show episode, and it's really similar to it. They didn't change a whole lot between the radio and TV, which I always like kind of to see the radio episodes brought to television. Jack didn't do it as often as I kind of thought he would, and it's always kind of fun having these. So what we're going to do is we're going to present, after we're done chatting about it and introing it, we'll have the TV episode that it'll go right into, and then after the TV episode, it's going to go into the audio of the radio show, so you could compare the two as well. For the radio show, it was still Vincent Price, but it was Claudette Colbert that was with him, which is fun too. So yeah, let's chat about what we thought about the episode and things. I'll start off by just saying I really enjoyed it. I love it when Jack is kind of paints himself into a corner, and he definitely does in this episode. Usually it's just a couple people that are kind of against Jack. In this case, he ended up in a room at one point with 3 people, and all 3 of them want him not there, and he does a great job of just kind of seeming oblivious to the fact that no one wants him there. and I always love that. So let's go over to John. What were your thoughts on this one?
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was great. Of course, the whole skit, or whatever you want to call it, with Vincent Price, Irene Dunne, and the director and the butler, always hilarious. I thought that was great. But I really also loved the introduction with the haircut and all that stuff. I thought that was very funny and surprising. Yes. And actually, I was looking, back, because I kind of remember the basic premise of this episode, and I was trying to remember where it came from, and I found at least 4, maybe 5 times that Jack did it on the radio. Mm-hmm. First, October 20th, 1940, this was the Screen Actor Guild program.
Yep.
It was Claudette Colbert and Basil Rathbone, and the director was Ernst Lubitsch.
Yep.
And they do a little joke about, so Jack, when he's being the butler, he does like an over-the-top English accent. And Ernst says, don't do the accent so hard. And he says, like, look who's talking or whatever. Something like that.
Wow.
And then he does it on a different program on February 27th, 1944. Barbara Stanwyck and Basil Rathbone. And the director is the Casablanca director. Was it Michael Kurtz?
Michael Curtiz, yeah.
Okay. And then it's this the Vincent Price one that we know from the actual Jack Benny program, February 6th, 1949. Claude Colbert, Vincent Price, and the director is Vince Markle. He's a director, I think, on radio, right? Yeah, the Ford Theater. So
right.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how it changes. Like the basics are all there, the walnuts and everything, but you just see these little changes every time. And I thought it was interesting on the first program. It's a different program. It's not the Jack Benny program, but they give credit to Bill Morrow and Ed Boulogne for writing the episode. So I don't know if they're still getting residuals by the television show, but
I always wondered how that works, because so many of their shows, or certainly the premises that they put together, were followed up by other writers, and I never knew if they get anything from that or not.
Well, Jack has a long history with that, because Harry Kahn actually sued him in about 1938. Saying you've continued to use the characters I created in 1932, and I'd like $100,000. They eventually settled for like $10,000 out of court. But it does show that from the very beginning, Jack assumed that these were writers for hire, and he alone owned the intellectual property of the scripts. So
and frankly,
that might have changed by the time of television, might have made it a lot more complicated. But at least on radio, that's
but
how
you would think if they were getting any residuals, any money off of it, that it would mention their names somehow in the credits, would have said as developed by Boulogne and Morrow or something. So it makes me think they probably weren't getting any money at that point. I don't know.
Well, no, but keeping in mind too that Morrow and Boulogne, from if I'm remembering my history correctly, they didn't leave on bad terms the way Harry Kahn left.
No, right, but they still didn't get paid. So
no, they did. But Jack took care of them. I mean, I'm not excusing it. Believe me, the residuals are a thing that should be earned. But he also brought them into several different writing gigs outside of radio, whether it was film or public appearances, and by the time that they left, they had found other gigs. So I wonder if Morrow and Boulogne just didn't really think to ask.
But also remember that that the script's one thing, no one was ever going to hear these live performances again.
Right.
So there was no sense of residuals from the performance.
True. Yeah,
so I think back in the day, they just weren't thinking that way, because it was going to be live and gone. And it's, it's not till he's got the four writers that they start going back to the old scripts and digging in. So it would be handled very differently today.
Yeah, it's like one of the reasons why if Jack has the episode where Bing Crosby says hell, he's not going to get too penalized for it because nobody's going to hear it again. Whereas in an era like Janet Jackson and the Super Bowl fiasco, that detriments her career because that has an instant replay situation going on combined with news coverage. So like, there's that they thought of this as nothing more than the play of the week, and then they toss the scripts in the garbage. Unless you Bill Harris, where he's like, I saved everything I picked up off the floor. So
are you saying, Zach, that people were replaying that scene of Janet Jackson over and over again?
It's an example.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know you could play it. I just knew you could still it and look at it, and that's not that I would do that, but
you can use the Will Smith slap from earlier last year with for a modern example like that. That's something that has the coverage that something like Bing Crosby saying hell isn't necessarily going to pertain, and also that's in an era where you could feasibly pay off the journalists to not make it a big deal.
I'm just thankful he didn't slap Janet Jackson. That would have been horrible. So
If you think about the way that technology has changed since this time, it's interesting to hear Jack Benny say, you know, the gossip columnists, let me see the latest thing. Oh, Jack Benny is getting a haircut. What? That's absurd. But nowadays, you actually could go on Twitter and somebody could report, a gossip columnist could report, oh, this celebrity is at this location right now doing this.
Yeah.
Certainly, I watched a few episodes over time because my kids would have it on or something of TMZ. And that is that kind of thing you hear on TMZ. It's this bizarre things where they happen to find a celebrity somewhere at a donut shop or something, and then just talk about them being at this donut shop. I don't think they've ever gone there before. Have you gone to that donut shop? I don't know. It's like, no. Really, there must be something better to talk about.
Yeah, I've got Jack over on Crenshaw Boulevard, and his Maxwell is completely stopped, and it just says Jack. You can't put it.
Exactly. Oh, crazy.
Camera.
Anyway, let's go over to Kathy. What were your thoughts on this episode, or what did you?
I absolutely adore this episode, and thank you very much, John, for doing the archaeology of all the different times that have been used. And Jack was so smart, Jack and his writers and producers, to have it be, you know, not always on his own show. That was, I must go find the Ernst Lubitsch one.
If you have
just for how fun.
It's available at thisdaybenny.com if you want to check it out.
Yeah, and if you have the criterion of to be or not to be, it's an extra on there as well. Yeah.
Fantastic. Wow.
Hey, John, how's the sound quality on that one? Do you know?
Oh, it's good.
It's pretty good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll present that one because I kind of like the idea of Lubitsch being in there, and the fact that it was the first one. So maybe I'll swing that one after this show instead of the other one I was going to. So. Yeah.
Well, they're all good, but it does make one of the sort of best all around Benny skits. And just as you all have said, it's amazing that he's at his most don't want to say despicable, most annoying. Yes. His character is and it's sort of at a far point of being obnoxious, and yet it works so well. And no wonder he could get his friends, these fabulous actresses and actors, to do it, because the whole skit makes them look better. Nothing more fun than making fun of Jack Benny. Right. So it's a great skit.
Vincent Price just does such a nice job on this episode. His acting, and just really seeming like he's put out with Jack and upset with Jack. I mean, he really brings that across nicely. And of course, the more you do that as an actor, the more it makes Jack's performance stand out and builds on Jack. If you are uncomfortable with that and then treat it lightly, it kind of pulls away and it doesn't give you that edge that you need to really make Jack shine. Because Jack is, I don't know how he does it. It's very difficult to do. I guess Steve Carroll today does a pretty good job of this too, is coming off as a jerk and yet being lovable at the same time, and where you as an audience, you just enjoy it and you just think it's funny, and where I would be afraid if I'm writing this that you'd go, oh, am I going to make people not like Jack? Am I going to make them, am I pushing it too hard? And as far as I can tell, you can't push it too hard. It's like Phil's character, where they just keep dumping more stuff on him and making him a womanizer and making him an alcoholic and all these things. And it just makes the character more lovable and more fun, and the audience deals with it.
That's great for those out in the audience who it's worthwhile to stick around or to at least fast forward and to find to compare the radio to the video version of what happens in Irene Dunne in the movie star's home. Because what I love to do with my college students is play those two things back to back. I start with the radio one and then go to the television one. And the students then become really aware of how Jack is we don't often give him as much credit as he is due for a visual performer, a visual comedian, because the subtle ways in which they adapted the script to play up the looking at each other, to play up the, so much of it is the same, but the way they reblocked it, I don't know how much, you'll see, as Jack ends up literally in the middle of Vincent Price and Irene Dunne arguing. It's brilliant, and something that you would never have known on radio, but it just, there are marvelous ways in which they found new ways of doing the humor.
And some visual stuff with the nuts is such a great part of this, because he does such a good job of bringing in the nuts at different times. And you could definitely, in your head, even though you haven't listened to the radio show necessarily, figure out, oh yeah, you'd hear cracking and everything of the nuts and so forth, which could be funny. But there's visuals he does with the nuts too that are really good too, that we couldn't do in radio. Zach, what are your thoughts on this?
I was really impressed with Vincent Price, because I know him from things like The Fly and The House of Wax and things like that. And so this is really a totally different side of him. He's really playing the dramatic actor, and he does really well too. But he's also able to play the behind the scenes version of himself, just being annoyed with Jack. And I think he even pulls off the bit about grammar even better than Basil Rathbone. Like, he really makes it seem natural, and so I thought it was great.
Well, and I think for an actor like Vincent, I would, if I was him, I'd be going, wow, this is great, because it'll get me seen by a whole bunch of people, and maybe instead of just seeing me in the horror genre, somebody out there will go, hey, maybe I can put him in this other movie or something, and broaden his appeal. I'm sure, because every person that I ever hear interviewed that's like a Vincent, where they're sort of have are kind of pigeonholed in a certain area, are always hoping that someone will see that they can do more than that.
I think
they're thankful for all the incredible work they get, because Vincent really did a lot of work in that field of horror and that sort of thing.
And he made that a conscious choice. He had a choice. When he got offered House of Wax, he basically made a choice. He knew the choice he was making, because if you can go back and watch a movie like The Web or Laura, he had the potential to move more into the legitimate drama, and he made it around the time that this episode came out to just basically kind of stick where the money is, because he had other hobbies outside of acting. I mean, his collection of paintings is notoriously
his cooking.
His cooking,
his enjoyment of gourmet food. So
exactly. So it's, if you want good taste, sometimes you got to engage in bad taste, I guess. Is his philosophy.
Well, and he really embraced it. Like, you see him later in the 70s, like on the Muppet Show, and he's just like, just sort of spoofing himself and embracing this sort of thing he's become.
Yeah.
Or on the Brady Bunch, the episode where they go to Hawaii, he's in that and does a good job in that too, which is and playing the creepy guy that lives in the cave sort of thing.
I even just appreciated in the Benny show how they were able to use the fact that he's so tall to make Benny look, even smaller and more, kind of obnoxious. So
and how Jack just comes across as thinking he's better than Vincent in every way, and obviously you're like, okay, he is not the leading man material that Vincent is, and yet Jack is like, oh no, I'm certainly the better choice, so forth.
Yeah.
Zach, what are your thoughts on it?
It's I think it was there was a point brought up just a minute ago about, like, this is Jack at its most intolerable, and I want to speak to that effect, because I love using modern analogy. This is the equivalent of George Costanza having his fiance lick the envelopes that are clearly poisoned, or Cartman in the Scott Tenorman episode of South Park, where this is an episode where if you've been listening to Benny and you watch this and you're turned off by his behavior, it could just make you shut down, or it's like it's your make or break. It's like the ultimate skit of Jack being the absolute worst. And there is a absolute value to it, and the only reason that it separates itself from those first two examples or any Larry David show that's come out it boils down to that he built up trust in the audience for 10 years or 8 years prior to that, and they already know that he would do that. It just seems like the most extreme version if you're looking at it as a slight observer of Jack. But it is like a testament episode to what the Jack Benny character is supposed to be. I will tell you that this is one of the most accessible episodes that has ever existed, partially because Irene Dunne and Vincent Price are in it. One of my co-hosts on Real Nerds, Brian, I tried to get him to watch Jack Benny for years. And he had said he had seen like one or two things, but he couldn't remember anything. But he got really into Irene Dunne within the last 2 years. And he texted me one day and he said, I'm watching my first episode of the Jack Benny program. And it was the Irene Dunne episode. And he could not stop giggling at the line, "The word is best. There are only two of us drinking it."
Yes.
Yes.
That is so funny. That callback to that and the setup of it and everything. And it's perfect, Jack.
And it's a great example of that vanity and playing on the dramatic tropes that existed in any form of medium at that time. It's a great knocking down posterity that Morrow and Boulogne were good at, and then was repurposed according to the needs of the newer writers that came in. It's just a really well-rounded sketch. You could conceivably do this with another comedian as well if you wanted to. It wouldn't be the same that Jack did, but like if you got Bob Newhart to maybe do this, or like I'm trying to think of somebody that plays a more vainglorious thing. Conceivably, you could get Milton Berle to do this, because it is just a very well-written comedy sketch. Does that mean that they'll do it as well as Jack? Absolutely not. But the framework is there to make a wonderfully awkward situation even more awkward. And Jack is fueling it with that awkwardness. He's really good at fueling every sketch that his writers come up with the added benefit of his performance that just creates an awkward situation for virtually everybody in the room. It's like the it's like the episode where he goes to the Coleman's for dinner. It's the same situation. If it weren't for him, it wouldn't hit the same way, but he's just making it 10 times more awkward than it has to be.
Well, and you're right that it's sort of a similar thing with Larry David, like you mentioned, where it's like he does something that would be considered socially inappropriate. And the reason that it goes so far is because everyone else is trying to be polite. They're trying to let him down gently. And then if they had just said at the beginning, no way, they would have stopped there. But they're trying to let him down gently, and he just won't receive it.
And similar to David and Seinfeld, Jack kept pushing the boundary of what his audience would accept and not accept. Not to the same points that Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld did. But if you're looking for the 50s or 60s equivalent on the television show especially, there are moments where he pushes every single one of his jokes to like the Johnny Carson episode where he's like, how does he say so young? And it just turns out he's a robot. Like that is just like, let's just see how far we can go. We're on television now. Let's just push it to the absolute minimum or maximum. So yeah, it's just one of the most accessible episodes. I'd put this in the top 10 if I was like doing a critical analysis on the Jack Benny program as a television show. It's not one of my personal favorites, but it is objectively one of the best episodes that has ever come out of that program. Not even a question.
Agreed. And folks are in for a real treat here. Kathy, maybe you can read to us a little of the variety review of this.
Well, I was delighted to find this review, and I was particularly interested because Variety's reviewers had really harshed on Jack's TV performances. From the ones I've been reading, they didn't like it. It wasn't fast enough. It wasn't visual enough. But they really changed their tune. Now, turns out they loved the Johnny Ray episode that will be in your series earlier. And then they loved his appearance a week before this in a Sunday afternoon show, Omnibus, where he did a cut down, a 53-minute version of his film, The Horn Blows at Midnight. So the reviewer is especially kind here, and the reviewer is going to emphasize that this is one of the first ones that filmed that's filmed. Now, I'll have to go back and check, because certainly there must have been previous ones that were filmed, but the reviewer is going to say that in a way that's very prescient. I'm so glad that this one will be available to slot in if there's ever a problem, or that can be seen over and over again. So sort of an odd backwards comment about how good this one is. So if you don't mind, I'll read really quickly because it's interesting. It appeared on December 9th, 1953. With anyone else but Jack Benny, they would have said he got lucky. 2 Socceroos in a row, Sundays on end, is an event reserved for the great. Those who rated his horn blows at midnight on Omnibus as the super of his TV career may now have revised their thinking. What past this reviewing stand can't get any worse than a photo finish. Playing it close to the belt, it was the year's comedy standout in what may be TV's biggest comedy year of 1953. In this first filming for the Luckies series, Jack Benny proved indubitably that all the spontaneity of the live show can be preserved in the tinned concept. Not only that, but for the added plusage, good old variety language, plusage, it could also be in the forefront of anything he's ever done on TV. Agreeing with you, Zach, good, better, or best, as the mood of variable dictates, it hit the top strata and stayed there. If memory serves, early in his TV career, he tried a similar tack of storyline comedy with Claudette Colbert and Robert Montgomery, and it scored mightily. I like this early in his TV career. Radio? Only the skeleton plot was retained, but with Irene Dunne, Gregory Ratoff, Vincent Price, and a butler named Rex Evans as co-protagonists, it bagged more laughs it bagged more laughs than the limit allows. In the hands of anyone less skilled in the delicate comedy nuances, commonly called touches, it would have played like a dozen others. But with Benny and his polished helpers, it was a classical gem of atomic humor. The situation called for Benny to dislodge Price as Miss Dunne's leading man over Ratoff's protest. That and little more, but with Benny supplying the filling, it made the big difference. From his writing staff of 4, he got literary lace in his idiom, and at the tiller, charting the course through high waves of hilarity with Ralph Levy and Hilliard Marks, crafty as they come in the comedy field. Just to pick one gag from the laugh-packed script, Benny tagged off his curtain speech by welcoming a new station in Las Vegas to the network. When he fumbled with the call letters, a voice from the stage stopped him. "Sorry, folks," poker-faced Benny said. "They just lost it." Now, you can tell me, what the heck are they talking about? It was Benny at his holiday best, and every line and business glove fitted to his particular traits of ringing laughs from every word and gesture. Miss Dunne was capitally correct, and to borrow from Luella Parsons, never looked lovelier. The sputtering, excitable Ratoff was an excellent foil for Benny's ambitions, and Price the exemplar of suavity, driven to outbursts of bad temper. Evans, as the butler, supplied those little cameos of starched wit that helped make a show. Luckily for Luckies, this one was on film. It'll be around many times again, and the standby for any emergency or just plain reprising because it's just plain so howling good. So back in the day when Benny was on so infrequently that every appearance was kind of a special event. So for a change, Variety now loves what Benny does. So
well, I just looked up in the Internet Movie Database. There was an episode, April 1st, 1951, that we don't have anymore. Claudette Colbert, Basil Rathbone, Robert Montgomery. So since Robert Montgomery was doing his television show, he was probably taking the director role.
Yes. And so they did it again. So
yeah. I guess he likes this one because he did it many, many times.
You get something that works, you just do it. But, you know, unlike today, people would only have their memories. They wouldn't have it to just go find and watch over and over and over again on YouTube. So I guess you could stretch a favorite bit out.
Well, I'm glad they approached it that way with Variety and talked about it. That was a really good review. Thank you. Because they could have easily gone the other way if they wanted to as a writer and say, Oh my gosh, how many times does he have to redo this thing over and over again? We've seen it in 1951, we saw it in 1940, we heard it in 1940, we heard it in right? So they could go into big lengths. I think he might even redo this whole thing on Shower of Stars, and one of the Shower of Stars later on. We'll have to see. I know that there's an episode that has Vincent Price in it and so forth, and I assume it might be a redo of this same thing, but I haven't watched that one yet, so we'll have to check that out and see if they revisit it, or if they pad it more by having it be an hour-long performance.
I also thought it was interesting, this being a filmed episode, and I guess the first filmed episode, they must have done a live audience watching it to get the laugh track. And you'll notice that he doesn't pause for the audience laughing like he might normally. They're laughing on top of him, and sometimes they're catching up. So yeah, it's interesting that they had the filmed episode, but then it's not like your, modern sitcom of the 90s or whatever, where they're canning the laughter and they're calculating exactly where the laughs should be, but they're just letting the audience go for it.
Right. Yeah. And speaking of that, since this is a filmed episode, the quality of it, at least the visual quality, is higher than we've been presenting with a lot of the lives. So that's kind of nice to see a clear looking episode and everything. This has to be, I would think, one of the earlier filmed episodes. I don't know how early he was filming, but most of them so far have been live, as far as I can tell, that we've been talking about. So this might be the first one.
There's a point I was listening back to an interview that Laura Leibowitz did about the television series, and I guess at some point they were testing the waters, so they alternated. 1 week would be live, and then the next week would be filmed. So I would imagine that this is in the early stages of them alternating between. But you can tell that the directors are already aware of, like, all right, if we're gonna film this one, then we're gonna add value to it, because the shot selection is 10 times more engaging than your typical live setup.
Yes.
It's also another example of like how Jack works the best in a medium or a wide, or like a medium close-up, like whenever they cut away to him cracking the walnuts and stuff like that. That stuff just works better for Jack. I've compared it to the later television shows, like in the 60s. Every time they cut away to a close-up of Jack in those it doesn't work, because they're just lingering too long on either the previous thing, and they're not allowing him to react to anything. Here you're actually watching him engage with every performer that's around him. And that's an energy you can only feel when it's being well directed and well blocked. So it's remarkable to watch them doing it this early in the stages of television too, especially.
For sure.
Great.
Yeah. So you guys are in for a real treat. I guess we'll get to it and go ahead and play the episode, and then you'll have one of the radio episodes. I haven't decided which one. It'll be a surprise for you. There you go. But I'm leaning towards the Lubitsch one. We'll have to see. Anyway, any last words anybody has, or are we good? Do we cover everything we think?
The word is best. That's the only way to leave this episode. Best.
Oh no, this truly is one of his bestest episodes ever. So yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
when can I use that version? I don't know. Anyway, off we go. Enjoy. See you guys next time. Thanks, everybody.
Evans, Ralph Sedan, Dee Benaderet, and Lois Kimbrough. Remember, 1 week from tonight on this same station, charming, disarming Ann Sothern returns in her famous role as a not-too-private secretary. You'll love watching Ann's hilarious adventures and misadventures. Tonight's Jack Benny program has been a film presentation brought to you by Lucky Strike, product of the American Tobacco Company, America's leading manufacturer of cigarettes. This is Don Wilson saying, be happy, go lucky.
This is the CBS Television Network.
The Jack Benny program. presented by Lucky Strike.
What do you think this is? It looks like some form of torture machine, doesn't it? Far from it. Actually, this instrument has a lot to do with the better taste of Lucky Strike cigarettes. What you were just looking at was a device for measuring the moisture content of tobacco about to be made into cigarettes in a Lucky Strike manufacturing plant. And believe me, smoking enjoyment depends a lot on maintaining proper moisture content. Too much moisture, and your cigarette will burn too slow. Too little, and it will taste dry. That's why the American Tobacco Company keeps a sharp eye on the moisture content of the fine tobacco that goes into every Lucky during every step of its manufacture. Here's how Robert Pendleton, who operates the instrument you just saw, tests for moisture after the tobacco has been shredded. He pushes a container of tobacco under the specially designed moisture meter. The long prongs bury deep into the tobacco. Then electric impulses show the moisture content of that tobacco on a dial. Yes, the fine tobacco that goes into every Lucky gets a lot of expert attention all along the line. The moisture test is just one of the hundreds of quality controls regularly made to be sure that you get all the better taste of Lucky's fine tobacco. For smoking enjoyment is all a matter of taste. And the fact of the matter is, Lucky's taste better, cleaner, fresher, smoother. So be happy. Go Lucky.